So you don't need to know the definition of kinetics on the exam. There's no definition questions on the exam. But you do need to know how different things can alter a chemical reaction, how different stresses on a system make up the concept of kinetics, meaning if I were to alter the temperature, concentration, or pressure of a system, how the reaction would be affected. And another important concept we're going to go through is how a catalyst can speed up a reaction. So one of the more simpler questions you can get on the exam, and I actually got this question on my exam, is to identify a category of reaction. So what they'll do is they'll present a reaction to you, and they'll ask you simply what kind of reaction this is. So the major groups include decomposition reactions, and decomposition reactions you can pretty much tell in the name. You usually have one product, and energy or heat is being added to that product to form or to break up that product into multiple reactants. So that's why they call it a decomposition reaction. Now, the energy term is on the side of the reactant. So what does that indicate? Can anyone tell me what kind of reaction that is? If I'm adding heat to the reactants? Yeah, so it's an endothermic reaction. And throughout this lecture, I'm going to ask you some of those questions just to get an idea of how familiar you are with some of these concepts and how detailed I should go into certain concepts. But yeah, so this is an endothermic reaction. And then vice versa, if you have a synthesis reaction, you have multiple reactants forming one product. And then this is an exothermic reaction because this reaction is releasing heat, and the energy term is on the product side. Equilibrium reactions, the easiest way to identify this is if you look at the reaction itself, you see there's not just one arrow moving left to right. There's a forward reaction and a reverse reaction, and that's represented by that reversible arrow. So an equilibrium reaction has two reactions, one moving from left to right and right to left. So I think you're all probably familiar with that. Combustion reactions are a specific type of reaction where you have one hydrocarbon plus oxygen forming carbon dioxide, water, and it's exothermic. So this is the actual question I got on my exam. Simply, one of the first questions was, which of these is a combustion reaction? And I just needed to remember that this is the general form of a combustion reaction. Displacement reactions, or double displacement, is when you have a compound in one of the reactants moving to the other reactant. So what that means is, if you look at this example, you have magnesium plus hydrochloric acid forming magnesium chloride plus hydrogen vapor. So the chlorine ion here is being displaced, and it's forming magnesium chloride, and it's freeing up the hydrogen. So this itself is a displacement reaction. If you were to have two ions or two compounds being displaced, that's when you have a double displacement reaction.